This training video does not replace instructions, and the latest version of the kit insert and instrument manual instructions should always be followed. The in vitro diagnostics version of the Migele Gel Electrophoresis Unit can be used with the Resolve hemoglobin kits to detect hemoglobinopathies from samples taken from newborn and adult patients. It features an easy-to-use design, a grid to help position the gel. The cooling plate design secures the uniform cooling. The lid enables the run of different sized gels. Monitoring the run is easy. Possibility to stack 4 units. And the lid has 2 modes, idle and run. The instrument should only be used by qualified laboratory personnel who have been trained in performing isoelectric gel electrophoresis and according to the provided instructions for use. Read the user manual thoroughly before using the instrument. The Migele Gel Electrophoresis Unit is designed for indoor use only in operating conditions of temperature 18 to 30 degrees Celsius and relative humidity of 20 to 80%. Do not store liquids on top of the unit and ensure that the environment of the unit is clean and dry. Maximum voltage, current, and power should not be exceeded. The Migele Gel Electrophoresis Unit also contains the following: 1 installation kit that can also be ordered as a spare part. The installation kit contains all the tubing and wires required to connect the unit to the circulating water bath and power supply. It also contains tools, including a fork wrench, hexagon key, bubble level, screws, and a stacking plate. A printed copy of the user manual in English is provided, and on CD, user manuals in French, Spanish, German, Italian, and Portuguese. In addition, the following materials are required to be used together with the Migele Gel Electrophoresis Unit: a water bath to be ordered together with the Gel Electrophoresis Unit, CWP 2000 programmable power supply, either a 230 or 120 volt rocking platform, a Resolve hemoglobin kit available in various sizes, along with HB 610 controls, an FR 9367 JB2 staining system recommended to be used with the newborn samples, clear microplates, parafilm to cover the plate during the sample elution step, pipetter, pipette tips, and trichloroacetic acid to fix the gels after the run. Additionally, the Delphia plate shake instrument can be used in the sample preparation phase to mix the sample and HB elution solution. Take the instrument from the packaging and remove the covers and foams. Leave sufficient space for other instruments and for tubing and ventilation. Connect the instrument to the water bath with easy-to-use connectors, ensuring that the tubing is not bent too tightly. Use only water as a coolant in the circulating water bath. After the first installation, leave the water bath on for at least 30 minutes to ensure that the air bubbles inside the cooling plate are removed. Also, monitor the cooling plate and the instrument, and if you monitor any leaking after the shipment, please contact your local Perkin-Elmer representative. Connect the wires from the power supply to the unit. Adapters are also available for different power supplies. Always connect cables to the power supply first before turning the power supply on. Up to 4 gel electrophoresis units can be connected to 1 circulating water bath, depending on the environmental running conditions, and 2 to 4 units can be connected to 1 power supply, depending on the used power supply model. Up to 4 units can be stacked. Use the provided screws and connectors to stack the units together, and remember to connect the lowest unit to the table before operating the stacked units. Migele Gel Electrophoresis units need to be leveled before operating, so use the supplied bubble level and the fork wrench as a help in leveling. After receiving the gel electrophoresis unit to the laboratory, always run 1 IQ/OQ gel according to manual instructions using the HB610 controls over the whole gel, monitoring that the run provides good results. The Migele Gel Electrophoresis Unit can be used in hemoglobinopathy detection with the Resolve Hemoglobin Kit. Hemoglobinopathy detection can be made from samples taken from newborns and adults using dry blood spot, whole blood, or cord blood as a sample material. Note that the Resolve HB kits should be refrigerated at 2 to 8 degrees Celsius. Do not freeze. Each kit contains the following materials: agarose IEF gel, anode solution, cathode solution, HB elution solution, IEF electrode wicks, blotting papers, barcode labels for the microplates, Resolve hemoglobin kit instructions, and the lot-specific quality control certificate. The FR9120 kit also includes sample application templates that can be purchased separately for the FR9400 and FR9360 kits. The FR9120 also includes blotting strips. For safety purposes, wear suitable protective clothing, eye protection, and gloves. Disposal of all waste should be in accordance with local regulations. Microplates should be identified with barcodes provided in the kit. Punch 3.2 or 4.7 millimeter punches from the dry blood sample collection cards. Add 25 microliters of HB elution solution to the 3.2 millimeter punch or 30 microliters of HB elution solution to the 4.7 millimeter punch. If using whole blood or cord blood samples, mix 10 microliters of sample with 100 microliters of HB elution solution. Cover the plate with parafilm. Mix well for 10 minutes on a plate shaker. Let the plate stand for 30 minutes until the hemoglobin has completely eluted from the disc. The gel is prepared according to the kit insert. Pipette water onto the center of the electrophoresis unit's cooling plate. Use approximately 1 milliliter for the FR9120 gel or approximately 2 milliliters for the FR9400 or FR9360 gel. The amount of water pipetted to the plate should be sufficient to avoid trapping air bubbles and allow for complete coverage under the entire gel. Take an agarose IEF gel from its package and discard the aluminum foil package according to local regulations. Remove the protective top cover sheet and discard. Do not separate the gel from its plastic backing. Avoid touching the gel surface and inspect the gel visually. Place the gel on the plate by holding the gel by its diagonal corners to form a parabola. Place the bottom of the parabola on the bead of water and slowly distribute the bead of water by using the backing of the gel. Be careful not to trap air bubbles between the gel and cooling plate. Lightly but thoroughly blot the gel with a blotting paper. Wait for approximately 5 seconds before peeling the paper from the gel surface. Any excess water should be blotted from the periphery of the gel using a lint-free paper towel. Remove the IEF wicks from the package. For the FR9120 kit gels, 2 wicks are needed, one for anode and one for cathode. For the FR9400 and FR9360 kit gels, 3 wicks are needed. 2 of the wicks will be used as anode wicks and the third as a cathode wick. Place the anode wicks on several white paper towels or along one edge of the inside of the gel package. When running multiple gels at a time, multiple anode wicks can be prepared at the same time. Evenly saturate the wicks with anode solution, approximately 3 to 4 milliliters each. Gently blot the wicks with another paper towel to remove any excess fluid. Note that brown or colored paper towels may exude a dye into the electrode wick, so use white paper towels only. The wicks should just begin to appear dry before being placed on the gel. Place the anode wicks onto the gel according to the alignment grid. See figures 2A and 2B. Make sure all the wicks are parallel to each other. Run a finger along the entire length of the wicks to ensure even contact between the wick and the gel. It's extremely important that the anode and cathode solutions do not come into contact with one another. Care should be taken in the handling of anode and cathode solutions to prevent contamination of the wicks. For instance, change gloves or wash gloves of residual anode solution before processing the wicks with cathode solution. Position the cathode wick accordingly. If you run the FR9120 gel, the second anode needs to be disabled. Position sample templates to the gel. Lightly run a finger over the template and between the sample wells to remove any air bubbles. To minimize moisture accumulation in the wells that may cause samples to leak, a clean electrode wick may be placed across the wells and smoothed by lightly running a finger over the wick surface just prior to applying samples. Remove the wick prior to applying samples. Always use the position marker controls. Control samples should be put into several wells. Dispense the following volumes of patient hemolysate into the appropriate sample wells. The volumes below are valid for all available gel sizes. If you want to pipette the samples in the same order in both of the units, Migele Gel Electrophoresis Unit and Multifer 2, please note the following pipetting directions. Close the lid to the run position and push the tray to the inward position. Ensure that the power supply wires are connected before the power unit is turned on. Set the desired run profile by using the power supply manual. The user may be able to supply additional power to the gel to enable faster run times. Use no more than an additional 5 watts for the FR9120 kit and 10 watts for the FR9400 and FR9360 kits. Runs may take up to 30 minutes longer for the FR9400, FR9360 kits, or up to 15 minutes longer for the FR9120 kit. Alternatively, 2 gels can be run using one power supply. In this case, double the watts to 60 for the FR9400, FR9360 kits, and to 40 for the FR9120 kit. If your power supply is capable of measuring volt hours, the run will be complete when 1,000 volt hours have passed. At approximately 15 minutes, pause the power supply and remove the templates. Rinse the templates with distilled or deionized water immediately after use, and let the templates dry. Blot any excess water that may appear on the gel during the electrophoresis. Continue the run according to the kit insert instructions. The run is finished when the acetylated hemoglobin F band is resolved from the hemoglobin A band in the newborn sample, or when the glycated hemoglobin band is resolved from the hemoglobin A band in an adult sample. Turn the power supply off. Pull the tray to the outward position. Remove the wicks. Remove the gel from the cooling plate and put it on a tray. Submerge the gel in 10% trichloroacetic acid for 10 minutes using the rocking platform or equivalent. The 10% trichloroacetic acid waste needs to be collected according to local regulations. Soak the gel in a copious amount of distilled or deionized water. The water must be changed at least once. If you're not staining the gel, soak the gel for at least 1 hour. If you're staining the gel, soak it for approximately 15 minutes. The interpretation of results is a visual process that can be made from both wet and dried gels. Gels can be dried at ambient temperature overnight or in a gel dryer or equivalent instrument at 50 to 70 degrees Celsius for approximately 75 minutes or until dry. For newborn samples, the staining is recommended, with the staining to be made according to the JB2 kit insert instructions. Staining can be made using the wet or dried gels. Collect the waste according to local regulations. Clean the cooling plate and the electrodes after the run with distilled water and a lint-free paper towel. Leave the lid in the idle position between runs. Every month, it's good to monitor that all the tubing and wiring are in good condition. If you notice wear, please contact a Perkin-Elmer representative. Replacing the lid. The lid with 3 electrodes can be purchased as a spare part and assembled with hex screws. We wish you complete satisfaction with the new Migele Gel Electrophoresis Unit.